Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Lennon again, and in this video, I would like to discuss a relatively new movie that was made from Netflix called The Electric State. And boy, I didn't think much of this movie going into it. I like the idea of humans and robots, coexisting in the world. And when I first got into it, I thought that reminded me more of the opening to the Animatrix. The first two sections, mainly the second Renaissance. But over time, turned out to be a very unique thing, and I really got to enjoy it a lot. In fact, I can't wait until Electric State number 2 comes out, wherever that would be. Maybe they might involve a peace treaty between the robots and the humans, but it was a pretty good story. The CGI was top notch. The actors, Chris Pratt and Stanley Tucci, and even newcomers like Millie Bobby Brown were excellent choices in this movie. So now let me get to the most important thing of this movie, and that being Mr. Peanuts, the Planters mascot. And let me just say that they built it up big time. They're gonna make him into come watch the movie to see Mr. Peanut actually doing something in it. But you know what? He actually does do a lot in the movie. He's not like a regular cameo role or anything like that. Only lasts 1 minute in the whole movie. By the way, movie's like 2 hours long, so good timing, good length movie. But yeah, they even got Gus from Breaking Bad, which, and I know he's got real name. I know that his name isn't Gus from the movie, but hell if I know how to pronounce it. But yeah, he's in this movie, but he plays a badass, ultra killing robots and taking their names. Kind of very similar to what he did for Blade Runner, which I haven't seen all the movies yet, but I just know that it's like that. And it's, they got some Matrix ideas in here, like about the artificial reality, which they kind of touch on a little bit, but it's more or less like the cohabitation of robots and humans together, and the hatred therein. So they also got Jason Alexander in this movie as Millie Bobby Brown's brother. And you know what? He plays a real joker in this movie. He plays a real not understanding father. And he's like an evil character in this movie, like a minor nuisance in the long run. So anyway, this movie is kind of special because it kind of looks like remember those old cartoons which were retro at this point, but they were trying to be futuristic, like Astro Boy, like the Jetsons, like maybe you might consider something like a Sailor Moon to be futuristic, or somewhat futuristic, or like Dragon Ball Z, or something along those lines. And the main character, the main robot character, I should say, is based on that too. and he's quote a lemon which I always thought was like a Pac-Man type robot character. But it turns out that he's not really the reincarnation of the main little brother, but more like a mind transfer. Kind of like in the book Altered Carbon. I didn't see the actual Netflix show for that, but I might look into it one day. But pretty much you can transfer your mind into like a robot or another human body. So anyway, they have him find the girl, Millie Bobby Brown. I'm sorry, but I don't remember their names offhand. But yeah, the character names, and they have to go on like an adventure where she is very reluctant to do it because there was a big type of laziness type in humans that, well, yeah, that we humans are very lazy. In fact, the father is played by Jason Alexander, of course, and he is so lazy that he has to put on his he's like a very angry, bitter older man, I should say, and he puts on like a visor, and these visors let you control like certain robots to do your work for you, like as you would see, it's kind of like a virtual reality type, like where you actually see the what you want to do. Like let's say you want to pick up this hard drive, for example. You would put the visor on. You would just sit in your fat ass all day, and then just have the robot pick it up. And I guess it would convey in the vision screen what you want, what your surroundings, and what you want it to do. So you would have the robot pick up the hard drive rather than you do it yourself. And the whole reason why I called Gus before badass in quotations, because he might be like this ultimate robot, like bounty hunter, where he kills non-living things and whatnot. But funny is that he does it the same way too. He just does it from the safety of his own home or his office, maybe. He just sits on his fat ass all day and programs it into a visor, that he wants to do this, and this. And then the robot does it in real time, as he thinks of something, the robot does it. So it's kind of stupid, because if you ask me, I think he would be more of a badass if they had somebody, or they had himself in person taking down these robots and being awesome badass, like he did in Blade Runner, or something similar to that effect. But they don't. So anyway, she runs across this guy called this guy played by Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, and little Android Bunny, and confronted, played by Anthony Mackie. And it really reminded me of it when I was I forgot what the name of the cartoon is, but there's a cartoon where you have like kind of like Eve from WALL-E, in which the emotions are put on like emoticons onto the face of this domed robot. So the robot's like a bit yay high, maybe a little taller than that because I'm sitting down, but like yay high. And they eventually decide to help her out after Gus comes in with his best robot unit and destroys the smuggled operations and under the big wall that separates us from somewhere else. I don't. That might be alluding to Trump's wall. So anyway, they decide to help him out after some begrudging comments and stuff. So she's on a quest to help her brother return his memories and mind into his body, to his squishy mate body. And then they go to this mall looking for this doctor. And all during this time, all humans all hate robots. I mean, Jason Alexander's character attacks the robot without question, without any type of a hesitation. He wants it for dead, gone, and everything else. So it's like so animosity being like Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown are the only one that are humans. So they go over to the mall area and they find Mr. Peanut with a ragtag group of robots that you will find in a mall. Like we have one with like an old-fashioned performer, like a Zoltar machine type performer. You have an old-fashioned barber chair with touching over hair, and then you have the old 50 diner type inspiration for like diners and stuff, and like the waiters and waitresses and things. So anyway, they get this weird monologue by the robot that is Miss Peanut, and he's voiced by Woody Harrelson. God damn it, he's a legend. I love the guy, even though my mom hates him, but still. So anyway, you find out through him that he got brokered truce with everybody. He brokered truce with the humans, leave him alone, and they would leave him alone in turn. Now, Millie Bobby Brown wants to use his help to rescue her brother, or take out Central, which is run by Mr. Musk, or I should say, Apple, or I should say, on top of that, Stanley Tucci. Now the thing is that the young brother is hooked up to this machine, very much similar to the pod in The Matrix. But the only thing is that when it's a symbiotic relationship where if this one little boy disappears from the equation, like let's go as coffin stuff, then the whole central network around the world dissipates and disappears. It's kind of like one of those boss fights, where if you destroy the one central node, the entire army falls. It's kind of stupid, especially for a futuristic type environment like this, where you would think that they would either copy that information or they would provide some kind of substitute for the boy in there, then the Porky's mind device, like in Earthbound. So anyway, the Stanley Tucci, of course, wants to keep this kid locked away, under wraps. He doesn't want the media to find out about it, because if they do, he would be mobbed as the monster that he is. And I feel like after the core, when he played Zinsky, he even played as like this all-knowing, rich, smug jackass, which I think I think fits him quite nicely, actually. So, they show in the movie, they show Mr. Peanut actually fighting with the badass Gus robot, and he actually does seem to make a few punches on the ultimate killing machine, but unfortunately, Gus ends up becoming too powerful, and he ends up almost killing the nut, crushing the nut, breaking his shell, and he ends up making him go back and run back to his mole base and seeing all the destruction that he wrought. Now, it's important to know that when they were waiting for the people, the, they showed at night they showed the base being attacked, and it's really quite interesting to see the sheer terror of ragtag based robot being just swamped by these army guys, these professional army guys. It's only so much trebuchet worth of refrigerators would help them out, would be able to defend against that. And you see a bunch of terror coming from the robots. And I swear to God that there was a giant version of Sonic the Hedgehog robot over there. Someone tell me if that was supposed to be a Sonic or was that some other robot. So anyway, they meet up with the doctor that could potentially bring the kid back to reality. And he's played by Short Round himself. I can't remember his name, but Short Round from the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. All grown up. And a very good actor. One of the last two. So they show him, he downloaded all of his memories into a hard drive robot, which looks like an old 90s computer, big block computer with the floppy disk drive that you put discs into, which I love this movie. I love the whole futuristic and the whole scientific stuff involved in the concept of downloading your memories and your mentality into a server device for immortality. But why in the hell, God, are there old fossilized pieces of shit computers like that one? And then there are the other ones that are like old, about the same age as that. Now, you would think that all that stuff would be junked a long time ago. And then there's the old problem of those robots, those older robots with wheels going upstairs. I'm not a professional on this, but I'm gonna say that's kind of hard to do. It's hard for me to do without wheels, but with wheels it would be impossible for me to do that. So anyway, they managed to get upstairs like a spider tank. Jenny Slate is also in there doing the voice of a male robot that's supposed to be like a Betty Boop robot. That is funny because she can rip out the inside of other robots like if you're playing Mortal Kombat, like fish and then she rips it out. And that to me it's very funny because she's innocent and all that stuff, and real cute and funny and all that. Until she gets serious, then she'll kick your ass and show your beating heart before she crushes it. And probably eats it too if she could. So anyway, they showed that the ragtag group does want to go into the Central Network, and did you eventually succeed in this game boy, but you wanted to kill him in the process? And I like when they show the whole into his mental world, and him closing the eyes for the last time as she's crying. Normally you just see the person just getting shut down from the outside. You never see what happened on the inside of that. So that was pretty nice. It seemed like shut down and all that. Like you would imagine it really happening in the mind of someone that was too far gone from medical science and that kind of thing. Something the guy ends up being demonized for what he did to this poor kid, censored. And there's nothing to that. I don't like too much. First of all, we see that Gus go through a mental dilemma about fighting robots versus fighting people who are in robot form, like the kid in Lemonhead. And then you see Luke Domehead robot getting really wounded as they go into another mech into a big construction robot and launch cars at the central building. The central building. Almost very similar to a matrix doll. Where you put like different side dolls inside the bigger ones and things like that. Kind of waste, if you ask me. But then you realize that the big dome character that looks like he's dying was actually housing inside the dome itself. A little smaller character, about maybe this size. So it was really cute to see him be brought back. Kind of like emoji version of the C-3PO from that movie, The Last Jedi. And it was really touching to see that he died yet. And then you see Chris Pratt of the Guardians of Diet Food and giving the hair robot free opportunity for a haircut. That was funny. So Central is destroyed. The reputation is in shambles, and the brother is dead. Or is he? Because in the end, they showed the body, the robot body being discarded, which is a pity of what Millie Bobby Brown was trying to get in the cream machine, and little non-cream machine toy old. She was trying to grab one of the dolls that looked like a Lemonhead robot, and so they were able to drop it off in the junkyard. So turns out the kid is alive still, within the mind and the memory of the robot, of the Lemonhead robot. So it could happen in the legacy too, that they bring back the kid, and they bring back his body, and they transfer his mind into the body again. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would. And I thought I didn't like the event because he's not into the cyberpunk stuff like the Matrix and things like that, but we're good. So I thank you for watching my video on the electric state. It was kind of, I want you to actually follow it with actual comparing who's on which side and who's on this side. Miss Peanut does do a pretty good job of fighting. He's a lot better than what you think he would be. There's a lot more, people always say that, he's a peaceful stereotype. And, he just wants peace and stuff, and he wants to be left alone. When he can fight pretty well for Juggernaut with a little sword in the cane. That kind of badass move. Even the middle girl and the baseball pitcher guy, voiced by Brian Cox, that's pretty good at combat. Actually pretty smartly good. Although Stanley Tucci does do that thing where he does like a visor and he does like a very like a big boss type, shiny new boss type, and like a giant mech and stuff to kind of like a construction robot. But then he takes it off right when he does one, which if he stayed in that form, if he had the visor on the whole time, he probably would destroy everybody. But no. And I think that Gus actually did take out some of the guys that were going to kill the Inhumans in Chris Pratt. So thank you for watching my video on the Electricity State. I definitely recommend you guys, even though I think that the robot body would have been this a long time ago. Lemonhead robot would have been crushed or something. I give this my happy face silver approval because Mr. Peanut is freaking awesome. I definitely might not thought that. And the actors were great too. And just a big joy to see Netflix actually do a pretty good movie this time around. So, if you like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, then like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information and future suggestions for my stuff in the future by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you want, you can always reach me at my you can follow me on Twitter at PNawsomePro. Also, you can get me on my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. Yeah, jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. Yeah. And also, so I salute all you sci-fi fans, all you cyberpunk fans out there, all you retro cartoon lovers out there, because I'm sure there's one character that you will like besides the good Sonic the Hedgehog and Mr. Nut himself. And there's even a Nutmobile too. I didn't think that was possible, but there's a Mr. Peanutmobile too. And there's also I thought that only extended to Mr. Wiener and the Wienermobile, obviously. So yeah. Peace up, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Internet Land. Aloha, Vincent and Sarnile. By the way, who else found it weird that there was no anime-inspired robots over there in this world of retro stuff?